Before I move on to activity 2, I just want to revisit what my professional need was for the first two activities. To learn about critical reflection strategies and tools that could aid transformation, note-taking skill, approach to the first-year university students, and to gain experience applying these strategies in an online environment. There's no doubt that I have learnt very practical skills of how to do this through this experience. And in fact, re-evaluating it is precisely what I need to deepen the idea that I have actually learnt those skills and have the confidence to apply them in my next workshops that I'm going to be running on, particularly academic integrity. And I'll talk about that right at the end. But certainly I have learnt that students' predisposal to critical reflection is very important. I've learnt that through the experience of what happened with the timing, with the level, and seen that in practice with the level of the student, with their English language level, whether they're rote learners or used to critical active listening, and the speed at which they can go through certain tools that I was trying to use as well. I learned in practice which tools were easier to apply quickly, such as video 1. It's a really quick way to develop critical reflection, and which tools require a longer application and more time within the session, which was video 2, with the mind mapping method of getting them to do it really worked to create a disorientating dilemma. I could see it before my eyes working, so did video 1. So the combination of two tools is reinforcing and more likely to generate more of a disorientating dilemma. Sort of one builds on the other. The first is just to get them thinking about a story to see how they reflect compared to other students and sort of story. The next one was really getting down to the nitty-gritty of them starting to write notes and seeing what was practically they could do, and perhaps areas they could not against sort of what they were looking at the styles that they were reading. So both tools were very effective in creating a disorientating dilemma and starting to challenge the assumptions of the students. The first video, for example, not as many hands went up about certain parts of what they were doing compared to what the students were saying. And in the next part, it was clear that some people couldn't write in their own words, some people could, and so that could have been reinforced even more by going through that more slowly. Some people were active learners, active listeners, but many of them couldn't actively listen to instructions. So I could have used even more to just show that was happening. And at one point in the session, I did say that active listening was really important within a lecture, but I could have just brought that a little bit more. And the mind mapping, they were able to actually do it. This was a practice that they hadn't done before, and that the practice of doing would have practiced what they'd done. They'd be sort of comparing what they'd done before, so they were learning something on the job, but were reflecting by doing as well. And all of this would have been definitely creating what I was trying to do with, applying Mesereau's disorientating to this kind of framework, and using the online setup as well. Seeing some of the online issues as well with the need for them to be trained a little bit before was also what I was learning. So I've got these practical skills in that area of online as well, and that if you're doing something new with them, perhaps you have to set it up with a teacher beforehand so that they're used to it, or perhaps you have to provide more time to lead them through that activity. And splitting activities up into two parts would have been a way for me to give them a lot more time in the instruction part of things to go through each of those first two video activities. So yes, through that definite goals I have learned through those activities that I ran.